I mean, every time. Sit here, try to go live, and every time it's always something. Always keep me like a minute away from coming on. I said I was going to be on at 9:30. Here it is, 9:31. But nevertheless, we're here. So, we're going to talk about awkward adventures and national emergencies. So, as right before we started, we got the word about President Trump maybe considering having the border security and deeming it a national emergency. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're also going to talk about something that happened a couple of weeks ago because, well, if you haven't noticed, we haven't been on in the past week and almost 2 weeks now. So, but well, there was a reason for that, and we'll get into that as well. All that on this episode of Trend Chat.
From the highways of America, here's the podcast where we talk politics, a little entertainment, some culture, and this and that, from the road to your ears. This is Trend Chat with your host, Brian Bledsoe.
All right. This is Trend Chat. I am your host, Brian Bledsoe, and if you want to connect with us, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat. It's all the same name, Trend Chat 24/7. So, like I said, I was all ready to go, and then right when I hit live, it's something like the mic didn't want to work and all that. It just, yeah. Oh well. Just a minute. I don't know if anyone that saw the post on Facebook and Instagram where I was saying that it was going to be at 9:30. So I don't know if someone came on right at 9:30, like what's going on? So I'm sitting there sweating over here over a minute basically. But anyway, that's over with. Like I said, we're live tonight, Valentine's Day. Well, it's Valentine's night and almost over now. But I wanted to come on mainly because, well, we weren't on last week as well. And the reason for that, because maybe you could probably hear it now. My voice is still not 100. If I never used it before, so hopefully I'll be professional enough to take out the coughing if I do have to. But first off, I guess we're going to start off with this. I haven't heard a lot yet about the report that President Trump is considering making border security a national emergency, which this is a last-ditch effort. This is like I guess you call it the nuclear option of trying to get this addressed. And this is not the best way to do it. The whole issue of border security, the whole issue of illegal immigration, it shouldn't have to get this far. It shouldn't have to get to this point to where you have to call a national emergency just to have border security. But that being said, if that's what it takes, at this point, go ahead. Now, I would say the past 2 years, you had a Republican-controlled House, and yet didn't do anything about it then. And so, first off, I would definitely give the Republicans who was in control the past 2 years, I think they deserve a lot of blame for not doing anything the past 2 years. Given the situation with the House right now, that the Democrats are in control, kind of at a standstill as far as wanting to get that done. And who knows what's going to happen in 2020. And at this point, desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. So I don't know how is this going to work, if it's going to work, and where we're going to go from here. And well, for one, he hasn't announced that he's going to make this a national emergency, so none of this might not even happen. So I kind of really want to get too much on this because nothing may not come of this. So, but I just saw it come across. But also, I saw a statement from Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, and she mentioned trying to get threatened in a way, saying that, well, if you call national emergency, now I'm paraphrasing. If you call national emergency on border security or for the wall, then I guess you were saying like a Democrat president later on could call a national emergency on guns. And so yeah. Well, one reason I think she brought that up because it is the 1 year anniversary of the Parkland shooting. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was in the context of talking about that. So and then which if we had a Democrat, president, and now if the president is set, if President Trump goes through with this about calling national emergency on this particular issue, as much as I would disagree with it, I can definitely see a Democrat president later on using this precedent to say, well, in the past, we used national emergency to build a wall if that went through and all that, and it happened. Well, in that case, I called national emergency on, take your pick on whatever liberal policy you could think of. I call national emergency on healthcare. So all healthcare is now, in the hands of the state, or like Nancy Pelosi said, call national emergency on guns, and all of a sudden they want to have some like instant gun confiscation or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I can easily see a president being set by this national emergency if this goes through, and whatever the fallout of all of this is going on, that may go on. I say again because it's nothing official, it's just a report. So, and like I said, I don't want to go on and on about something that may not even come to be. So, and plus, this is Valentine's Day, so don't want to. Then again, I mean, I don't know how many people listening right now, if you're especially out on a date, or if you're not. I mean, if you don't have a Valentine, and if you're listening, hey, I appreciate you listening. I will hope to. I guess this next segment, the next story I tell may make you laugh a little bit. I don't know. I'm just going to bring this up mainly because I was going to bring it up last week, but like I said, the whole thing with me, my voice and all that, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it right quick. But I just thought it's funny, a little awkward as well. But yeah, I'll get on that in a minute. But first, before we get to that, I do want to say we're going to be at CPAC. It's official now. We got the approval for what is the second year in a row. So yeah, we got. Yeah. All right. Enough of that. Okay. But yeah. So we got approval for media credentials at CPAC, and so we'll be there, and that's February the 28th through March the 2nd. So we'll be in DC for that, and maybe go on Capitol Hill in between. I don't know. So we're excited for that. We'll do like we do the past couple of years and try to get a couple of interviews. But honestly, the objective this year for us is not so much focusing on interviews so much this time. Not so much because of for the podcast, we're going to try to get interviews, but we're also trying to see while we're there, because this is this is the largest gathering of conservative minded people of the year, and so there's a lot of opportunities to network and all that. And so we're thinking this time to maybe take the opportunity to kind of reach out and see where what can we do to grow, and maybe get some advice, and maybe get some ideas as far as what to do to take the next step, for Trend Chat, and because this year is a very critical year. I think I probably mentioned this before, but it's a critical year in the sense of, because we just want to know where we're going after this year, or at least have an idea where to take it. So that's kind of where we're going to look at going to CPAC this year, as far as that's our focus. So, but in the same sense, I do want to mention another I guess event that happens at CPAC, which we are proudly a sponsor. So, America's Future Network Foundation, America's Future Foundation, they host a event called Reagan Palooza, and it's an event that's been going on every year around CPAC, where it's just another one of those events where you can network with other like-minded people, and it's normally at the end of the day. So this year it's going to be March the 1st. It's going to be in Alexandria, Virginia. So I mentioned that because we are a sponsor for Reagan Palooza this year, which we are very, like I said, we're very proud to be a sponsor. And I would say if you go to Trend Chat, whether on Facebook or Instagram, we have posted about Reagan Palooza. You can see it there and get the link to get a ticket if you want to attend. We hope you would attend, and we'll be there, and we'll hope to see you there. So with that, so we and that's one thing about doing that live. That was live, and actually I didn't even think I was going to do that today, but that was me just basically off the top of my head, trying to, I guess, do that little promo. But before we get to our little awkward adventure we had a couple of weeks ago, let's hear a word from our friends with the... See, that was another thing I found out just now. Oh well, I was gonna say I was gonna play something with Politics and that we normally play, and something I've noticed that we have lost all that audio, but I've just noticed that now. And that was one of the things I was talking about when I pressed live, like everything went haywire. And so I'm just now noticing that was one of the things that disappeared. Oh well. Either way, like I said, I definitely wanted to bring up about our two partners in particular, because ODGapparel.com, I don't know if you checked them out. It's ODGapparel.com. They make really good, stylish Christian gear, and I've been wearing their hats. I got the Stop Being Dead hat, the snapback hat, and I've been wearing that. They have shirts and hoodies and all sorts of apparel. And I've been looking to trying to find different messages as far as that would kind of spark a conversation a lot of times. So the hat that I have with ODG Apparel it says "Stop Being Dead," which it also comes with a shirt that says "Stop Being Dead." And I've already had a couple of people come up and ask, what that means, "Stop Being Dead," and it goes into the conversation. So, stop being dead. Basically, it's about stop being dead in your sins. And then from there, it just get to talking about promo code TrendChat10. You get 10% off. So now, given the fact that we're kind of off whack a little bit because we don't have the breaks that we normally will have in between. But that being said, oh well. I can just go right into it because it's not. There's like no transition I can use because everything has disappeared right before I hit live. But that's okay. We just gonna roll with the punches because we just gonna go into talking about what happened a couple of weeks ago. And I don't know how weird this is gonna sound. It was funny to me. Well, it wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now. But yeah, so I'll just say this. Let me ask a question first. Have any of you, I guess, had the experience where you're thinking, but yet at the same time you notice that your mouth is not saying the same thing that you're thinking, which is a good thing, but like you're thinking about something, but you notice that your mouth is moving and you're not really paying attention about what you're saying in a conversation. You're like, I'm not even paying attention. I'm thinking about something else and my mouth is talking about something else. Like my brain just split off into two or something. Anyway, I don't know if that explained it, but me asking that question kind of goes into what happened. So a couple of weeks ago, we were in Phoenix, and so I went to the Royal Rumble and to watch some wrestling, WWE, and on what was it, on the day of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which was on Sunday, that morning I was able to take part in a I guess called like a meet and greeting, I guess, with one of their superstars. Her name is Charlotte Flair. And it's funny because I mentioned her right now. At this time right now, she's like the most hated woman in WWE right now. So if you have to follow WWE to know what I'm talking about, but in what's going on with the WWE, she's like, yeah, super hated at the time right now, as of February 14th, 2019. So anyway, that has nothing to do with this story. But so I was part of this meet and greet, and I was standing in line, and people just getting their picture taken with her. She signed like a picture or something or whatever, and it's moving pretty quickly and whatnot. And so I'm just standing in line, and I'm kind of looking around, looking at everything else that's going on, because it was part of kind of like a big convention where they were doing they was having matches. So they had a ring set up somewhere else where they were doing matches over there, and had other superstars who were doing other meet and greets and all this other stuff that's going on. Anyway, I'm just looking around, and I will say this first is I'm glad I had an idea what I was going to say. I'm glad I thought about that before I got up there, because that kind of played into what happened. So anyway, we're inching up toward to take a picture. And I don't know now from this point right here. So I'm the next person up. There's the guy in front of me, he's getting the picture taken, and I don't know, for some reason I was looking off, and next thing I know, I hear, "Sir, you're up next." And so I made my way up to the little platform to take the picture. And from that point for the next, I don't know, it felt like forever, but it's maybe 2 or 3 seconds. But I stepped up to the platform. I looked up, and I was like, for like 2 or 3 seconds in my mind, I'm like, wow. This is in my mind. I'm thinking this, like, wow, she is really, really beautiful. She's like really stunning. like wow. Like I've seen her on TV, but I'm like, man, she really looks great. Now, all of what I'm just saying right now, that was what I was saying in my head. My mouth was moving though. Apparently, and I honestly, to this day, I do not know what I said, because I was thinking something in my head, but my mouth was just yapping, saying something. Apparently, I said something like this because I kind of came back to really understanding what I said, because the one thing I was thinking about saying when I was walking up is because I read a story the day before that she and the WWE met a military family that was having some issues, that needed some help, and they went by the house and they gave them some stuff to help them out. I forgot the story altogether. I kind of don't remember all the story, put it that way. And so I was going to say, as a veteran, I appreciate, because I remember that, because I was thinking I wanted to tell her, hey, as a veteran, I really appreciate what you did to that, for the military family the other day. And so apparently, in the time, I don't know, one part of my brain was looking at her, saying in my head, saying like, wow, she looks very, very beautiful, whatever like that. I'm saying that in my head. Apparently, my mouth was just repeating what I was thinking, because by the time I even came to, I guess, she was saying something, and she had this puzzled look on her face, because apparently I said something, and to this day, I don't know what I said. And it wasn't what I was thinking, because it was about the military family. Apparently I was talking about the family. I don't even know. It was kind of weird, but I kind of figured like, okay, I must have said something about the family. And I just kind of this is what I did. I just kind of like, yeah. And I just repeated myself. I just want to say, as a veteran, I appreciate you helping out the family. I just said that again. And I don't know what I said. So yeah, that was quite awkward. And I really wish I had like a video camera to kind of capture what I said. The very first couple of sentences, whatever they were, I do not remember. But, and it wasn't like, I was like, oh, it was like my brain split into two for some reason. I don't know. It was really weird. But, that was, yeah. Anyway, after that, we took the picture. So I posted a picture a couple of weeks ago. I posted it again tonight. But it's funny, I look at that picture because that happened like the second before we took that picture. And every time I look at it, I just think about what was going on. I mean, look, she's not going to remember that, because I think she probably took 10,000 pictures. So, but it was kind of funny to me, because I'm like, I wonder what I said. But I'm guessing I'll never know. No one was taking any video. But yeah. And I'm pretty sure no one there is going to remember. Because it's not like I said it. I must not have said anything too crazy, because I would have got slapped or kicked off the stage or something, I guess. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of funny. And I easily could have not mentioned this. I mean, I guess talking about it does sound kind of weird, but hey, I try to keep it real with you all. That's me. And it's funny, because I feel like not only this episode that's right now, I think this episode the next episode, which may be I'm pretty sure it'll be next week, next Thursday. It's going to be one of the most personal episodes next week for me on here. I'm trying to get, trying to prepare myself to really let y'all in on something and really talk about it tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but next week. But yeah, I think it is. It's going to be the most personal episode next week, where I talk about something I don't think I've told too many people. Maybe one or two people know. And look, it's nothing crazy. I mean, it's nothing life threatening. Let me just say that. So, but it is something important. So, and it is something that it ties in with who I have on as well, who I will have on the podcast. So it ties into that. That's the reason why I'm going to bring it up next week, because with the person that I'm talking with, he brings up something as well, which I didn't bring it up in our interview, because at that time I didn't know if I was going to talk about this. But after the interview, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just go ahead and and address it myself and let it out myself. So anyway, all that to say, that's next week. So, and I'll let y'all know who will be on next week in a couple of days. Probably Monday or Tuesday, when I announce who will be on next Thursday. So this will be the time I will play something, so I will catch my breath. But like I said, I don't have any of my little breaks in there that I would normally put in. Either way, all I will just say is, I guess I'll use it to talk about 1776 United, because that's our other partner. Now, they made these mugs, which I just bought. I just got one with my favorite quote of all time. One of my favorite quotes. And I prefer a dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery, by Thomas Jefferson, supposedly. I'm guessing, from Thomas Jefferson. But it's one of my favorite quotes. And 1776 United made a shirt with that quote on it. And they also made a mug with it. And so I bought both of those. And now we're proud to be a partner with them. One thing about 1776 United. Apparently, I can't believe, but I mean, it was a whole point about doing this, but still, I see that some of y'all are actually buying 1776 United, and I cannot be, more grateful for y'all for doing that. I mean, the whole reason why I wanted to, mention partners like 1776 United or ODGapparel.com and all these two, for not only because I wear them as well, but maybe y'all will want to get their shirts and hats and mugs yourself. And some of y'all are doing it, and it just one of the things that kind of blows my mind. It just like, man, it's kind of awesome. Just doing the podcast, like doing one episode of this podcast, which, I mean, this is 128, but I'm just saying, it's just little stuff like that. And now to see that people are actually listening to the podcast and then buying some of the stuff, and which I appreciate. I really appreciate y'all going out. I mean, speaking about that, I mentioned that this podcast has a very I guess this is a very crucial year, and so one thing we definitely would appreciate if you're listening to this, and we would really appreciate it if you like it, share it, subscribe. So we're available on Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and many other popular podcast outlets. I can't name them all because I honestly don't know all of them. I was finding Trend Chat on other outlets that I didn't even know. So I just mentioned like kind of the major ones, but maybe if you are subscribed to other podcast outlets, maybe I'll say search Trend Chat and see what comes up. If I'm not on there, hey, request it. So we would really appreciate, if you share, subscribe, and just that really helps us out. iTunes, especially if you go to iTunes, leave a 5-star rating. That would be kind of cool. One thing we're thinking about goals. It's like what goals we want to have this year. And I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but like one goal we've thought about is that we want to be nominated for something. Like that'd be kind of cool. Like to be just. I know a lot of people don't say about, hey, I want to, win something. That'd be cool. That'd be just outstanding. Like I just like to be nominated for something. Hey, Trend Chat with Brian Bledsoe has been nominated for, best podcast or whatever. So, I mean that's one goal. We're looking to try to get nominated for something. That's a goal that we're looking to. I don't know where. I mean the whole iHeartRadio podcast awards. I mean that was just fun, but we know how hard that would be. So So I don't know. So that'd be kind of cool. Hope it works out. So I don't know. I guess given that we're kind of, like I said, we're kind of missing out on the whole our breaks and everything. One thing I definitely need to get fixed, I guess, because I didn't even know that was that even happened. But that what happens when you try to go live, especially for me. It just often happens out of nowhere. So I know one thing. The State of the Union. Quickly on that, State of the Union, a couple of weeks ago now, and it was kind of there was this one moment where where President Trump was mentioning the women in Congress, and then you had your I guess you said they were mostly Democrat women that were put in office. And it was just kind of funny when, especially the ones that were all dressed up in white and whatever. And like they stood up and they got all happy and cheering during the State of the Union. I'm like, it's funny because especially the Democrat women, like they should be thanking President Trump. And, because if it wasn't for their hatred of Trump, and how they energize their voters to go out to the polls and vote for them, they probably wouldn't have got elected. So really, it's because of President Trump that they even in office. I just thought that was a little funny because I'm like, I mean, you despise him, but yet if it wasn't for him, you probably wouldn't be in office. So, and speaking one of those congresswomen, which I think even with or without President Trump, I think she probably would have still got in, mainly because of the district she's in New York, and that would be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC, as the hip people say. But so she, I'm pretty sure she would have probably still I guess she would have got elected because. I don't know if y'all saw, there was this video where I think it was Campus Reform, where they were talking to her constituents in that district in New York. And yeah, I mean, it seems like they in love with some democratic socialism. So it wasn't surprising to see that she, she won about, a landslide too. It wasn't even close. So she'll probably be there for years and years to come. I'm guessing maybe till she gets to, she's 35, and then she'll probably run for president right on her 35th birthday, I guess. Wouldn't be surprising. But and speaking of that district, or just New York in general, because today Amazon pulled out of New York, where they were planning on building a headquarters. I guess we'll call HQ2 up in Long Island or somewhere, up in New York. And today they announced that they're not going to do that. And one of the reasons for that is that apparently they weren't getting any help or any cooperation from some of the politicians. Alexandria, you know what? AOC. I'm just going to do what everybody else do. AOC. So, she was one of the people who was criticizing this whole deal from the beginning. And yeah. And then when the news came out, she was like all happy about it. Yay, Amazon's not going to come to bring jobs to New York or whatnot. You know what? It's funny because, yeah, they were supposed to bring, what they said, 25,000 jobs to that area. That, whenever you have like one of these huge corporations, whether it's Amazon, I don't know, Toyota, take your pick. But another aspect that I don't know that I'm noticing, I notice it when I read the articles, and so it's in there. But the state of New York or the city or both were given like a total of $3 billion in subsidies to Amazon for them to have their headquarters there. $3 billion of taxpayer money. I mean, but because of the lack of cooperation with AOC and other politicians in New York, so they decided to not move forward with the construction and of that headquarters up there. So they said they're not going to reopen the search, and so they're just going, I don't know, I guess they're just going to reevaluate and do something later. I don't know. But hey, now it doesn't mean just because Amazon is not going to be there, it doesn't mean like that $3 billion is all of a sudden going to be, given back to the taxpayers. They're just going to waste that money on something else. They're literally going to go out and basically burn it on something. That $3 billion is not going back to the taxpayers. Trust me. They're going to find something else to waste taxpayer money on. I don't know. Maybe, I guess, build a boat for a turtle or something. I don't know. Something. But anyway, I appreciate everyone listening. I appreciate you tuning in, listening to these awkward adventures and talking about, I don't know, how I just had, I guess just had a brain fart. I don't know. But, and, talking about the national emergency possibly coming up. And I like I said, I appreciate everyone listening. I appreciate you tuning in to Trend Chat. And I say again, we're available on Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and other popular podcast outlets. If you like this, share it, subscribe, 5-star review, all of it. I would say do it all. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review on wherever it is. Wherever you're listening to this, click 5 stars. Or if you don't think it's 5 stars, reach out. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Trend Chat 24/7. All of those. At Trend Chat 24/7. Follow, like on all social media. So, well, this is the end. It's kind of funny how I basically just went from 40 minutes straight talking with no break, because that was my fault, because I have lost all my audio, and so I just basically had to do this from beginning to end. I don't know how compelling this was. I hope it was, and either way, we got through it. We got to the end. So there we go. See, I got that audio though. So at least I'm glad I got this part. But anyway, again, thanks for listening, and until next Thursday, we'll chat with you later.